Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Code 369. We are learning React, okay, and this is a full stack development course class 74, and we are learning React from the website FreeCodeCamp, and I have given the link for this website in the description box and you can use it and access it. We are learning front-end libraries from this website, okay. So far we have completed Bootstrap, jQuery, SASS, and in React we have completed 31 of 47 exercises, okay. So now we have to see, use the lifecycle method component will mount. So let me explain component will mount simply, okay. So component, whatever you write inside the component will mount, okay, will be executed before the component is mounted, okay. For example, I am giving a development here, okay. And I am giving hello user, okay. So you can see this component is mounted, okay. Component is mounted, it means the component is displayed here, okay. So the content in the component is displayed here. So now we are going to use component will mount. Component will mount is nothing but the code which we write inside the component will mount will be displayed before the component is displayed, okay, before the component is mounted. For example, now the component is mounted and it shows hello user. But if we use component will mount, first the code inside the component will mount will be executed and then only this code which is present inside the component will be mounted. For example, I am writing here alert, okay, I am using alert method here, okay, alert and an empty string I am giving alert user, sorry, alert user, okay. And then you can see I remove this, okay. So let me type this, and then I remove this, okay. Now you will see here is A, okay, but I have removed A from this. I have removed A from the development, but you can see A here, okay. But you can see alert here, okay, alert message of alert user. So after I click this OK only, this will become empty, okay. Now I am clicking OK and this has become empty now, okay. Now I am typing alert here, but this is not displayed in the web page now, okay. First it is showing the alert message and when I am clicking OK, then only this will be displayed, okay. I am again doing it. For example, I am typing hello world, okay, and now you can see the alert message is here. After I click OK only, this hello world will be displayed. So this is what component will mount. So first this code will be executed, after only this render element will be executed, okay. So reset all the code and do what they have said, okay. So what they have said here is the component will mount method is called before the render method when a component is being mounted to the DOM. Log something to the console, okay, within the component will mount. So they are telling us to log something. So use console.log of after this only the component will will be rendered. Okay. So here also I can give you the example. For example, I am giving development here also. Okay, I am giving hello world. Okay. Now again I remove this. So first this will be displayed. Okay, this console message will be displayed, and then only that will be displayed. Hello world will be displayed. Okay. So you can see it here. So before this render method works, this will be working. Okay, that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see component did mount. Okay, so this is very simple. Component did mount is very simple. It is the opposite of component will mount. Okay, so initially what I am going to do is I am going to change this active users to 1000. Okay, just for explaining you, and I am going to use this data here. Okay, in the active users. So give curly braces this dot state dot users. Okay, active users. So I have to give active users here. Now you can see the output as 1000. Okay, so I remove this code also because this is disturbing me. So now you can see the active users as 1000. So what I am going to do is I am going to give some alert message in the component did mount. So give alert, and I am going to give alert user. Okay, sorry, alert user. Okay, I am giving OK. Then what I am going to do is I am going to change this active users. For example, I am going to give this as 2000. Now I am going to change the value, but what will happen is after the value displayed only the alert message will be displayed. Okay, for example, after this 1000 will be changed only the alert message will be shown. Okay, let us see it. Give 2000. Oh, sorry. Now I changed the example. Okay, sorry for that, but I have changed the example one. But now what I have done here is inside of the component did mount I have logged a message. Okay, I have given the message as this is what component did mount is. Okay, and I have removed the return statement here. So nothing can be displayed here. Okay, because I have removed the return statement, and I have given the message of this is what component did mount is, but you cannot see the message logged here. Okay, but when I mount this, okay, when I mount the component after the message has got displayed, then only this will be displayed. Okay, after the return statement is displayed in this white space only this message will be displayed. Let us see it. Let me paste the return statement. So now you can see the active users 2000, then only this is displayed. Okay, so let me remove it again, and you can see there is nothing here, and you cannot see the console message also. Okay, but when I mount it again, after I mounted this only this will be displayed. Okay, so this is component did mount. So let me reset all the code. There is a mock API call in component did mount. It sets state after 2.5 seconds to to simulate calling a server to retrieve data. This example requests the current total active users for a site. In the render method, render the value of active users in the H1. So what they are telling is simply, we have to make the value of this active users, okay, which is found in the state, to be used here, okay. So what we have to do is, we have to give curly braces this dot state dot active users, okay. So this dot state dot active users, okay. Now we have used the value of this active users from the state to here, okay. And let me change the value. For example, let me remove this also. Okay, let me cut this. And I give the active users as 1000, okay. And when I paste it, what will happen is, now the component is mounted here, okay. When I paste this, now the value will be changing to 1273, okay. So after the component is mounted, this data will be executed and active users will be changed to 1273, and this is called as set timeout method, okay. And this will be changing the state, okay, of active users to 1273 after 2.5 seconds, okay. This is time, okay. If I change the time, let us see. For example, I am going to give 10 seconds. So if you have to give 10 seconds, you have to give the value of 10,000, okay. I am giving the value of 10,000 now. So initially this is 1000. After 10 seconds, it will be changed to 1273, okay. You will see the output now. So now it has got changed. So this is what component did mount is. After the component is mounted, that is 1000, okay. Active users is 1000. After the component is mounted only, this will be executed and the active users will be changed to 1273, okay. That's it. And as this is a set timeout method, we can specify the time also, okay. For example, I have given 10,000, so it means 10 seconds. So after the component is mounted, after 10 seconds the component is mounted, this active users will be changed to 1273. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now what they are telling is add event listeners, okay. So now we are going to add event listeners, okay. So here you can see attach an event listener in the component did mount method for key down events, okay, and have these events trigger the callback handle key press. So you can use document.add event listener, which takes the event in quotes as the first argument and callback as the second argument. So what we are going to do is, in the component did mount, we are going to add events, okay, add event listener, by giving document dot add event listener, okay. Inside this we have to add the event. So the event is key down, okay. So in the double quotes you have to give key down, and we have to give comma, and then we have to give the callback function, okay. So handle key press, okay. So here also we have to attach the same thing, but we are going to remove the listener. So we have to remove the listener by giving document dot remove event listener, okay. Document dot remove event listener, and inside the parenthesis you have to give the event name, okay, the same event, that is key down, and the same callback, that is handle key press, okay. So some mistakes I have done here. Then what are they are? We should not give handle key press, okay. We should give this dot handle key press, like how we give inside of the components, okay. So here also the same, remove this parenthesis, we have to give this dot handle key press, okay. Press Ctrl Enter and it's working. So first of all we have to know what is the usage of this, okay. So what we are doing here is, in the component did mount, so it means after the component is mounted, okay. After the component is mounted, what we are going to do is we are going to add event listener, okay. So the event is key down. Key down is nothing but when the key is pressed. So after the component is mounted, okay, after the component is mounted, when any key is pressed, this handle key press function will be called, okay. So here you can see handle key press, okay. This function will be executed, and again before the component will unmount, okay. So component will unmount is nothing but before the component will get unmount. Unmount means removed from the display. So before it is removed, what we will do is, okay, for key down event we will remove the event listener, okay, that is handle key press. So when the key is pressed, this function will be called, okay. So this will be done after the component is mounted, and before the component is unmounted, we will remove this event listener, okay. We will remove this event listener, this will not work. So before the component will get unmounted, when the key is pressed, this will not work, okay. So this unnecessary code will be avoided, okay. So that's what they are using here. So press Ctrl Enter. Now we are seeing optimize re-renders with should component update, okay. So we have to see should component update now. So what is should component update? So read all these things thoroughly, you will be easily understanding. So should component update is nothing but it will check whether it should update the component or not, okay. For example, we will be having a state value, okay, and every time we will be updating the state value using set state, okay. But now what we will be doing is, we will be asking the question whether to update it or not. For example, so far if any component receives new state or new props, it re-renders itself and all its children, okay. This is usually okay. But React provides a lifecycle method you can call when child components receive new state or props, okay, and declare specifically if the component should update or not. So this method is called should component update, and it takes two parameters, next props and next state, okay. This method is a useful way to optimize performance. For example, the default behavior is that your component re-renders when it receives new props. Yeah, even if the props have not changed. For example, if the previous property was having a value and the new property is also having a same value, okay, and this is waste of time because already we are having the same value, now we are updating with the same value, so that is a waste of time. So we can use should component update, okay, and check whether they are same, okay, whether the previous property and now the same property are same, and we can avoid the update if they are same, okay. That is what we can do with should component update. Okay, so let me complete this code and I explain you, okay. So now I have completed the code here, okay. So this is very simple. We have used a should component update here, which receives two parameters. One is next props and another is next state, okay. So what the condition we are giving in the should component update is, we are using an if else, okay, if statement here, and we are giving next props dot value, okay. So if the next props, if the value of the next props, okay, if the value of the next props is divided by 2, the remainder should be 0. So it means the value of the next props should be even, okay. So it means the value of the next props should be even, okay. If it is even, return true. It means that next props is nothing but the property value which is going to be updating, okay. So for example, if the current property value is 0 and the property which is going to be updating is 1, okay. So next props is 1, okay, and it will be checking here whether 1 is divided by 2 and it will leave the remainder of 0, okay. So it will not leave the remainder of 0. So this will return false. So the update will be cancelled, okay. But when we are having the next props value as 2, 2 divided by 2, okay, 2 divided by 2, and we will check whether the remainder is 0. Yeah, the remainder is 0. So true will be returned. So when the true is returned, the update will be taking place. Otherwise, the update will not be taking place. So when we are having the value as 2, so this is a even number, so update will be taking place. So that is what we have done here, okay. And if the number is not even, the update will not take place, okay. So that's it. So they have written code for all these things, okay. So when we give add, the value increases by 2, okay, you can see it. So now I am clicking it, okay, you can see now I am clicking it. I have done a click now, but the value is not updated because next is 7, okay. Now we have got 7, so it is an odd number, so it is not displayed. Again I am clicking, so now it is 8, it is displayed. Again I am clicking, I have got 9, so it is not displayed. And again I am clicking, so now it is 10, it is displayed, okay. So the values are updated if the value is an even number, okay, that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Next we are going to introduce inline styles in React, okay. So this is how we have to give inline styles in React, okay. Not in React, in JSX, because this is a JSX. We are combining JavaScript and HTML, okay. So we can give inline styles like this. So how to give? Let us see it. Add a style attribute to the div in the code editor, okay. So in this development you have to add the style. So give style equal to, and you have to give it like an object, okay. For example, in the style you have to give curly brace, okay. You have to give curly brace and again you have to give curly brace. So let me explain after completing this, okay. So give double curly braces here, and then give text color, okay, give the text a color of red. So give color as red, text color as red, okay, and a font size of 72 pixel. So give comma and give font size of 72 pixel. So whether they have given pixel, no. Here you can note that you can optionally set the font size to be a number omitting the units px, okay, or write it as 72 pixels. So that's not a problem, they are saying, okay. So if I am changing it to 720, it is not changing. Why? So here I have done a mistake. So I should not give double quotes here, okay. So now it works. Give px, it will work. Whether it works, and we should give it in a string, okay. So let us see how it works. For example, I have to give inline styles in the JSX, okay. JSX is nothing but combination of HTML and JavaScript, and I have to use curly braces here, okay. So why this curly brace? Because we are giving styles like JavaScript here, okay, like an object. So this is an object. The thing which I have selected is an object because it is having the property of color and a value of red inside a string, okay. And here also it is having a property of font size and having the value of a string 72 pixel, okay. And here also you can see the property name should be in camel case. Camel case is nothing but first letter should be in small and the second word, okay, the first letter of the second word should be in capital. So this is a camel case. So all these things are in JavaScript, okay. So this is an object. So these are all JavaScript. So that only I have included the curly braces outside also, okay. So now you will not have curly brace. Actually this is a JavaScript. So whenever we use JavaScript in an JSX, we have to add them in the curly brace. So we are using curly brace, okay. And you can give 72 pixel in a string, okay, or otherwise you can just delete all these things and just give 72, okay. That is also acceptable. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to add inline styles in React, okay, using another way. So what is that way? So let me complete the code and explain you, okay. This is also very simple. So let me do it. So this is also very simple. What I have done here is I have created an object here, okay. So this is very similar to what we did in the previous exercise. So I have created an object here, okay, and I have given the properties here, okay, color purple, font size of 40, border value as 2 pixels, solid purple, okay. So 2 pixel is nothing but border width, solid is nothing but border style, and purple is nothing but border color, okay. So I have given all these styles in an object, okay. Then what I am going to be doing is I am going to give inline styles here, okay. So I have given style equal to curly brace of styles. Actually this is an object. So if we have to use JavaScript, we have to enclose it in curly brace, okay. So I have used curly brackets and I have given this object name. Okay. So all these styles will be assigned to this development. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now use advanced JavaScript in React render method. Okay. So let us come to this exercise. Okay. In the code provided, the render method has an array that contains 20 phrases to represent the answers found in the classic 1980s Magic 8 ball toy. Okay. So here what they are telling is there is an array. Okay. So this is the array which they are saying. Okay, which has 20 phrases. And the button click event is bound to the ask method. So each time the button is clicked, a random number will be generated and stored as the random index in state. So what they are telling is here there is a button, and whenever this button is clicked, okay, whenever this button is clicked, what will happen is, here you can see ask method will be executed. Okay, this ask method will be executed and this will set the state. Okay, here you can see the state. This is having a property of random index. So whenever this button is clicked, this ask method will be executed, and they have used math.floor of math.random. Okay, so math.random is nothing but it will be generating a random number. Okay, and after it has generated a random number, that will be stored to the random index. Okay, which is present inside the state. Okay, so that is how it works. Then on line 52, delete the string change me and reassign the answer const, so your code randomly access a different index of the possible answers array each time the component updates. Okay. So on the line 52, you can see there is a constant called answer. So we have to reassign the value for the answer. So what our code will do is, will access a different index of the possible answers array each time the component updates. So let me finish the code and I will explain you. Okay. So on the line 52, I am going to change the value here. Okay. So for the const answer, I am going to give possible answers. So this is the array name. So I am giving array name of possible answers. Okay, and I'm going to give the index. Okay, I'm going to give the index with the value of random index. Okay, so I have to give this dot state dot random index. So give this dot state dot random index, and I'm going to access this answer variable here inside the p element. So give curly brace of answer. Okay, so yeah, press Ctrl Enter. Now it works. Okay, let me explain it to you. For example, whenever a button is clicked, they told this ask method will be working. So what it will be doing is, it will be generating a random number. Okay, it will be generating a random number and it will change the state property random index. Okay, so for example, if the random index now gives the value of let's say 5 or 6 or anything. Okay, initially the random index is empty. Okay, now if it gives the value of 5, now 5 will be stored as the random index. Okay, so now the random index will be getting the value of 5. So what they have told here is, every time you have to access a phrase randomly. Okay, So if 5 comes, we will be accessing the fifth phrase, or 6 comes, we will be accessing the sixth phrase. Okay, like that we are going to do. So every time when the button is clicked, it will be accessing different phrase randomly, and it should be displaying it. Okay, so that is what we have to do here. So for that we have to access this array. So we are giving array name here. Okay, array name here, and we have to get a random index. So we are accessing this state property of random index. Okay, using this dot state dot random index. So I have given like this. Okay, so finally we have to use this variable inside our paragraph. So inside our paragraph I have given curly brace of answer. Okay, this is the variable name. As this is a JavaScript, we have to include it in curly braces. Okay, that's it. So press Ctrl Enter. So this is a toggle display. Okay, so this is as similar of already we did the toggle display. Okay, so this is similar to what we did in the previous exercises. So already we have seen toggle display. So let me complete this code and I will be explaining you quickly. Okay, so let us see it. Okay, I have completed the code. This is very similar to what we saw in the toggle display. Okay, so you can see the output here. For example, when I click toggle display, there is nothing. Okay, so there is no display here. And when I click on toggle display, now it is displayed. And again when I click on toggle display, nothing is displayed. And again when I click on toggle display, something is displayed. Okay, so it will be toggle, it will toggle. That's what happening here. Okay, so here we are having a class component called my component, and we are having a function here called toggle display, and this toggle display, okay, if this and this toggle display will be doing something. So what it will do is it will change the state using set state. Okay, it will change the state using set state. So if the state property display, you can see the state property display as true initially. Okay, initially the state property display is true, and it will check whether the display initially the display property is true. So when this toggle display is executed, okay, the display property will set to not state.display. It means that if it is true, this will become false, and if it has got changed to false, now this will become true. Okay, so this will become the opposite of what the value here. Okay, so if the display is true, it will become false. If the display is false, it will become true. So it will toggle between the two values. Okay, and here in the render method we have created an if else statement. Okay, if else statement, actually this is equal to what we saw in the toggle display exercise. Okay, so this is very similar to what we have already done. So here we have used a if statement here, and this gives condition this dot state dot display. So it means that if the state property display, it means here, okay, if the state property display is true, okay, is true, it will display a heading called displayed. Okay, a heading called displayed. And if the display property is not true, okay, so that is else statement. So nothing will be displayed here. Okay, no heading will be displayed. So how this button works? So if this condition is true, okay, if this condition is true, we are having a button here, okay, and when this button is clicked, okay, when this button is clicked, the toggle display will be called now, okay. When this button is clicked, the toggle display will be called, okay, the toggle display will be called. So here you can see toggle display. Now the state property will be changed to the opposite. For example, here the state property is true. So when calling this toggle display function, now the state property will become false, okay. So the same here. So here in the else part, the display property will be false. So when calling the toggle display, it will change to the opposite. So it will be changed to true, okay. So that is what it happens. So when actually this is true, okay, the display is true because it is showing displayed. And when I click on this button, this will become not visible, okay. So again here you can see, so the display is false here. So when I am clicking on this, the display will become true and it will be displayed, okay. So that is it. So press Ctrl Enter. Now use and for a more concise conditional, okay. So for this also I am going to be completing the code and I will be explaining you, okay. So this is also toggle display, okay. So this is very, very simple. So we have completed the code, let us see it. So this is also very simple. So the same thing, okay. When the toggle function is called, okay, when the toggle function is called, the state property will be changed to the opposite. For example, if the display is true, the state property will be changed to false. And if the display is false, the state property will be changed to true, okay, the opposite will be changed. So here you can see a button, okay. When the button is clicked, okay, so that we have given on click, the toggle display function will be called, okay. So when the toggle display function is called, it will be changing the state property to the opposite. So if true is there, it will be changed to false. If false is there, true will be changed, okay. So like that it will be happening. So in our code, what we are doing is we are using and operator, okay. So what we have done here is, okay, this dot state inside the curly brace, because we have used curly brace because of this is a JavaScript, okay. So we have used curly brace, and inside of the curly brace we have given this dot state dot display. So it means that the value of the display, okay, either it is true or false. So if this dot state dot display is true, this will be executed, okay. And if this dot state dot display is false, this will not be executed. That's it. So this dot state dot display is nothing but the display value here, okay. So if it is true, this will be executed and h1 will be displayed, okay. So displayed, the message will be displayed here. And if it becomes false, this message will not be displayed. That's it. So when I am clicking on it, now you know the display is false here, okay. So nothing will be displayed. And when I am clicking on it, so the display is true now, so this will be displayed. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see use a ternary expression for conditional rendering. And for this I will be completing the code and I will be explaining you. So I have completed the code now. Then we are going to see how it works. For example, here you can see a text called enter your age to continue. Okay. Then we are having an input field here and we can enter our age here. And basically submit button should be there at the first. Then we have to enter the age and we have to submit it. Okay. So if we enter the age 8 and submit, okay, let us see what will happen. It is showing you shall not pass. But when I am entering the age of 80 and submitting, you can see you may enter. Okay. So there is a condition given in this. For example, if a user enters a number less than 18, render button 3. Okay. If a user enters a number greater than or equal to 18, render button 2. So you don't have to think about that. First of all, you just think if the age is greater than or equal to 18, it will show you the message of you may enter. Okay. And if the age is less than 18, it will say the message of you shall not pass. So that is what we are going to do. But initially the button should be submit button. Okay. So let us see how it works. First of all, we have created a style here. Okay. Const input style equal to width and margin. Okay. This is a style and you don't have to think much about it. So let us start from here. We have created a class component here and that name is check user age. And initially what we have done is we have created a state here. Okay. State with the properties of user age and input. And initially we have set the user age as empty string and the input as empty string. Okay. And then we have created two functions here. One is submit button, submit function, and another one is handle change. Okay. Then we have mentioned what is the function of this function. Okay, handle change. And what it does is, let us see it later. Okay. So let us come to the render here, render method. In render method, we have created three buttons. One is const button 1 and another one is button 2 and another one is button 3. So we have created three buttons here. So in the first button, what we have done is, actually this is a constant and in the constant we have created buttons. Okay. So we have created three buttons inside three constants. Okay. Three variables. So in the first button, we have created a button, okay, which shows a message of submit. Okay. So that button will be showing you submit. So here you can see this is the button 1. Okay. This is the button 1, submit. And here we have included an event. And we can see on click event handler. Okay. On click means when you are clicking. Okay. So when you are clicking on this button, what will be happening is this dot submit, you can see the submit function will be executed. So this submit function will be executed. So what will this submit button do? It will simply rewrite the user age. Okay, you can see the user age here in the state. Here in the state. Initially it is empty, but what will happen is when the submit button is clicked, okay, when the submit button is clicked, this submit function will be executed and the user age will be updated, okay, with the value of state.input. So what is state.input? So state.input is nothing but input is also a property of state. Okay. So we will see it. And in the second button we can see, second button shows a message of you may enter, and the third button shows the message of you shall not pass. Okay, and inside this render we can see, sorry, close this. Yeah, in the return statement we can see we are having a heading of enter your age to continue. Okay, you can see it here, enter your age to continue, and then we are giving a input field here. Input field is nothing but the area in which we can type the thing, type something. Okay, so this input field we have created here, and for the input field we have inserted the style. So this is the style which we have inserted. Okay, width of 235 and margin of 5. Okay, and then we have inserted the type as number. So whatever input is given here should be a number, so that we have given type as number, and then value equal to this dot state dot input. So this means whatever value you type inside this input field will be stored in this dot state dot input. So where is this dot state dot input is located? You can see it here. So this is called as this dot state dot input. Okay, in this state property, the value which you are typing inside the input field, okay, will be stored. For example, you are entering your age here, for example 45, and you are clicking submit. So what will happen is this 45 will be stored in this input field. Okay, in this input property of the state, input property of the state. Okay, and then what we can see here is on change. So whatever change is happening in the input field, for example this is being still here. Okay, nothing is happening in this input field, but when we are making change in this input field, for example when we are clicking and when we are typing, so what will happen is, yeah, now we are typing, so we are making changes. So when we are making changes, what will happen is this handle change function will be executed. So where is handle change function? You can see it here. Okay, handle change function will be executed, and what it will do is it will be updating the state using set state. Okay, it will be updating the state properties. For example, it will be updating the input property of the state. So initially the input is empty string. So now what will happen is the input will be updated by e dot target dot value. Okay, so e dot target dot value is nothing but e is an argument. Okay, and this argument is targeting the value. For example, value is nothing but the value of this input field. Okay, the thing which you are typing is called as value. So this value will be taken by this E, okay, and it will be stored to the input state. Okay, that's it. Then we are leaving user age as empty string. Okay, then we have included a break statement here, and then what we have done is we have included ternary operator here. So ternary operator is nothing but the thing which is present before the question mark will be considered as condition. Okay, and if this condition is true, sorry, from here to here, if this condition is true, this will be executed. Okay, otherwise this will be executed. So you already know what is a ternary operator. So this is what ternary operator is. So if we can simply say this dot state dot user age, it means this, yeah, here. So this is what means this dot state dot user age. Okay, so if it is empty, okay, if it is empty, if it is empty string, button 1 will be executed. So button 1 is nothing but the submit button, okay. So just submit button. So that's what button 1. And if the string is not empty, for example, we have typed some value. So now the string is not empty. So what will happen is this condition will be checked, okay. This dot state dot user age greater than or equal to 18. And if the user age is greater than or equal to 18, button 2 will be executed, okay. And button 2 is nothing but it will be showing you the message of you may enter. Otherwise, if the age is not greater than or equal to 18, this button 3 will be executed. So button 3 is nothing but the button will be showing you message of you shall not pass, okay. So that's it. So one more thing you have to see here, okay, on click equal to this dot submit. It means whenever any change is happening in this submit button, okay, for example, we are typing some value and we are clicking it, okay, submit button. So some change is happening in the submit button. So what will happen is when you are clicking on this submit button, this dot submit will be executed, okay. This dot submit means this submit function, okay. So what it will do is it will update the state property of user age with the value of state dot input. So state dot input is nothing but the value which is typed here, okay. So this will be taken as the user age and it will be stored. That's it. So that's it. So when the string is empty, submit button will be there, and when the age is greater than or equal to 18, for example 78, and you click on it, it will show you you may enter. And if the age is less than 18, okay, it will show you the message of you shall not pass. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now render conditionally from props. So for this also I will be completing the code and I will be explaining you. So I have completed the code and let me explain it. So first of all we are creating a class component here and its name is results, okay. And then we are having a return statement inside it in the render method. And what it says is they have created a property here and its name is this dot props dot 5050, okay, this dot props dot 5050. So it means that it will be receiving property from somewhere, okay. So let us leave this. So just think it like a variable, okay, or expression, or you don't have to think much about it, okay. Just think only one thing here. If this becomes true, it will be showing you the message of you win. Otherwise, if this becomes false, this will be showing you the message of you lose, okay. That's it. And here we are having another class component and its name is game of chance, okay, and it is having a state of counter 1 and it is having a function of handle click, okay. And inside the render method we are having a variable called const expression, okay. And in this expression what we have done is we have used math.random. So math.random is nothing but it will be generating a random number, okay. It will be generating a random number. For example, up to 0.9 I think so. We have already seen it but I have forgotten it. Math.random in JavaScript, okay. Yeah, math.random always returns a number less than 1. So up to 0.99 it will be generating a random number. Okay. And what we have done is we have written a condition here. In the expression we have written a condition. If math.random, okay, returns a value greater than or equal to 0.5, it should be returning true. Okay, otherwise it should return false. So this is the condition. So if the value is if the value is greater than or equal to 0.5, it should return true, otherwise it should return false. So that's it. And here we can see we have created a button here, and the button shows a message of play again. Okay, so this is the button. Okay, so this is the button, and when that button is clicked, this dot handles click should be executed. Okay, so where is this dot handle click? Here you can see it. So what it will do is, initially the counter value is 1 here. Okay, initially the counter value is 1. So what will happen is, when we click on that button, the counter value will be increased by value of 1. Okay, so the counter will be made 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay, and one more thing here we can see is we have inserted the child component here. For example, we can see result component here, and what we have done is we have inserted this results component into this game of chance component. Okay, so we have included it here. Okay, and what we have done is we have given the value of 50/50 with the expression. So expression is nothing but this. Okay, math.random greater than or equal to 0.5. If this becomes true, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So we have included that value to the 50/50 property here. Okay, so 50/50 is nothing but available here. Okay, so what we can simply say is, if any random number is given which is greater than or equal to 0.5, it will be giving you the value of true. Okay, so if the value is greater than or equal to 0.5, true will be executed. Okay, and if true is executed, what will happen is that true will be saved to this 50/50. Okay, that true will be saved to this 50/50. If false was executed, false will be given to this 50/50. Okay, property. So this 50/50 will be executed here. So if that 50/50 was having the value of true, you win will be executed. And if that 50/50 was having the value of false, you lose will be executed. Okay, so that's it. And one more thing here is, we have included a paragraph here, and it shows the message of turn. Okay, this turn is nothing but here you can see, and we have added one more thing, this dot state dot counter. So it's nothing but this. Okay, counter value. So every time you click on this play again button, this counter will be increased by the value of 1. Okay, and it will be displayed here. So that's it. So you can see all these things here. I am clicking on play again, the counter value will be increased. Okay, and it will show you turn 12, and next turn 13, and turn 14, turn 15, like that. And every time if you click on this play again button, if the random number which is generated will be greater than or equal to 0.5, it will be showing you the message of you win. Okay, and if the random number was generated with the value less than 0.5, it will be showing you the message of you lose. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are seeing change inline CSS conditionally based on component state. Okay. So for this also I am going to be completing the code and I will be explaining you. So I have completed the code. Let us see how it works. Here you can see a message of don't type too much. So it means that you should not type too much. And I am typing here, for example, hello world and this. So now you can see the border has become red. Okay. So up to I type and it is not showing you any change. But when I am typing more than that, it shows a change here. Okay. The border is changed to red. So what it means that after it has reached some certain limit, it will be changing its style. Okay, that's it. So they have given this here. You want to style this border red if the user types more than 15 characters of text in the input box. So if the user types more than 15 characters, the border should be changed to red color. Okay, that is what we have to do here. So this is very simple. For example, initially we have set the state as input empty string. Okay, so initially the input is empty string, and what we will do here is here they have inserted a style here. Okay, and the stylus border is having black color. For example, so this is the initial style. Initially it will be in black color. Okay, initially it will be in black color. And what we have given is, we have given a if statement here, and it says that this dot state dot input dot length greater than 15. It means that, okay, and first of all we have to see this. Okay, we have to see this. So input field is nothing but the area in which we type. Okay, so that is what input element is, and we have given type as text, so text should be typed, and we have given style as input style. Okay, so this style will be applied to the input field. Then what will happen is, we have given value equal to this dot state dot input. So whatever we type here, okay, whatever value we type here will be stored to the state here. Okay, will be stored to this input. So we have given this dot state dot input. Okay, and we have given on change. On change means it is initially empty. Okay, but when we are doing some changes, for example we are typing, so when we are making changes on this input field, this dot handle change will be executed. So this dot handle change means this function. Okay, so what this function will be doing is it will be updating the state, okay, using set state. Okay, it will be updating the input using set state function, set state method with event dot target dot value. Event dot target dot value is nothing but this event is an argument which will be targeting the value. Okay, so the value is nothing but which we type. So whatever we type will be stored to the input. Okay, that's it. And then we have to come to this here. So if this dot state dot input dot length, so if the value which we have typed is greater than 15 characters, okay, so greater than 15 characters, this style for the border should be executed. So initially the border was black in color and it was 1 pixel solid. Now the style will be changed and it will become 3 pixel solid red. Okay, so I am typing more than 15 characters: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay, so the value of O is 15. Now I have typed P. Okay, P is 16th letter. So when the value increases after 15, it will change to red. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see array.map method, okay. So for this also I will be completing the code and I will be explaining you, okay. That's it. So I have completed the code and we will see what happens, okay. For example, we can directly go to the output here, okay. So in the output you can see separate items with commas. So we are having my to-do list here, okay. So we are creating a to-do list. So we are going to enter the task here, okay, separated with commas. For example, my to-do list will be walking and I have to give comma, okay, because we have shown the message of separate items with commas. So I'm going to give walk and then comma and then eat and then take rest and then sleep, okay, all these things, and I give create list, and you can see all these things are made in a list here, okay. So that is what we are going to do. And we are going to do it using map method, okay, that's it. So initially we are having the state of empty string, okay, for user input, and we are having empty array for the to-do list, and then let us directly go to the render method. And here you can see, first of all we have to go to this input field, okay, because this is where we are going to type the text, type the task, okay. So let us directly go to the text area, input field, okay. So sorry, actually it is not input field, we should say it as text area, okay. That is the element which we use in HTML, text area element, okay. So we have given text area element here, okay. Sorry, what happened? Okay, it can be anything. So we are having text area element here, okay. So this is what text area element is, okay. And we have given on change. So whatever change is happening in this text area, for example, if we are typing, that is considered as a change. So whenever we type, handle change will be executed, okay. So handle change is nothing but here you can see. So what this handle change will be doing is, it will be updating the user input, okay, it will be updating the user input with the value which we type here, okay, with the value which we type here. So this user input will be updated with the value which we type here, and then we are having value equal to this dot state dot user input. So whatever value we are typing here will be stored to the state property, okay, state property of user input. So whatever value we type here will be stored to the user input, okay. And then we have given styles for the text area, okay, and placeholder, it shows message of separate items with commas. So we can give message here, separate items with commas, okay. And then what we can do is, here we are having a button called create list, okay, this is the button, and whenever we click this button, this dot handle submit will be executed. So what will this dot handle submit do? So here you can see handle submit, okay, and what will it do is, it has created a array called items array, and what it will do is, this dot state dot user input, it means the value which we typed. For example, we are typing here as talk, walk, bathe, okay, all these things. So what it will do is, it will take that value and it will be splitting, okay, it will be splitting with commas. For example, after the talk there is a comma, So this stock will be taken as a separate element, and walk will be taken as a separate element, and bath will be taken as a separate element. Like that it will be splitting, okay? It will be splitting every task and store it into items array, okay? And then what will happen is, it will store that items array to the to-do list, okay? Initially the to-do list is an empty array. Now what will happen is, it will be stored with the value of items array. Then here we can see my to-do list, okay? So this is the heading which we have here, and we are having unordered list, okay? And we are including items here. So where is items located? So this is where we can see the items here. So what this items constant will be doing is, this will be taking this dot state dot to-do list, okay? So it means that the to-do list which we have created, okay? Here we have updated the to-do list. So this will be taking this to-do list and it will be using map method. And it will be taking every element, for example, talk, walk, bath, etc. Okay, every separate element, and it will be inserting it into the list tag, okay? So for example, it will be taking talk, walk, bath, okay, separately, and it will be inserting it into every list element, okay? So this will be made as this. So that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now give sibling elements a unique key attribute, okay? For this also I complete the code. So we have completed the code here, okay? So this is also very similar to the previous exercise, but we have to add one more thing. For example, we have created an array here, okay, React, Angular, Ember, Knockout, all these things, and we have made it into a list here, okay, using map method. So using map method. So here you can see front-end frameworks dot map method, okay. So it will be taking every single element of this array, and what it will do is, so let me delete this. What it will be doing is, it will be including it into the list element, okay. So it will be shown as a list. But what they are saying is, we have to give key to every element. For example, for React, for Angular, for Ember. So all these values we have to give a key here, okay, that is what they are saying. Key attribute. So here you can see, this time make sure to give each li a key attribute set to a unique value, okay. So we have to give a key value. So for why we are using this key element, key attribute here? Key attribute is used to identify the items. For example, if we are giving a key value to React, we can identify this element with that key value, okay. So if we are giving key value to this Angular, we can identify this Angular element with that key value. So for that only we are using key attribute here, okay. So we have to give key attribute here, give key equal to, and inside the curly brace give item, okay. So what is the value that we can give to the key attribute? We can give the same name of the item. For example, for React we can give the key value of React, okay. For Angular we can give the we can give the key value of Angular, okay, like that we can give. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see use array.filter. Okay, so we are going to use filter method now. So for this also I complete the code and I tell you how it works. So we have completed the code and let us see how it works. Here you can see some users are online and some are not. Okay, so here you can see users object here. Okay, actually this is an array, users array here. So and inside the users there are some users, for example Jeff, Alan, Mary, and some people are having online as true and some people are not in online, so online false. Okay, so what they are telling is filter the array, so you see only the users who are online. So we are going to filter this array which is having the users of online as true. Okay, otherwise they will be removed. That's it. So we have written code for that. So you can see here const users. Okay, we have created a variable here and we have given this dot state dot users dot filter. So what we are doing is we are taking this users array, okay, and we are doing filter here, this dot state dot users filter, and we are giving users dot online equal to equal to equal to true. So it will be filtering the users who are all having online as true. Okay, others will be removed. So we already know the filter method. Okay, we are well versed in that. Okay, filter method. So we don't have to explaining it very well. Then what we are going to do is we are going to take those values, okay, those filtered users, and we are going to insert them inside the list element. Okay, so that is what we have done here. So finally you will be having current online users as Jeff, Mary, Sarah, Lara. Okay, so you can see Jeff here having the online as true, and Mary is having the online of true, and Sarah is having the value of online true, and Laura is having the value of online as true. Okay, so that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now render React on the server with render to string. Okay, the render to string method is provided on React DOM server, which is available here as a global object. The method takes one argument, which is a React element. Use this to render app to a string. So here you can see the explanation. Okay, so far you have been rendering React components on the client. Okay, normally this is what you will always do. However, there are some use cases where it makes sense to render a React component on the server. So normally we will be rendering on the client side. Okay, but in some cases we have to render the React component on the server. So that can be done using render to string method. Okay, so React provides a render to string method you can use for this purpose. So we have to give React DOM server dot render to string. Okay, and inside that you have to give the app component. Okay, app. Yeah, spelling mistake, sorry. So now this component will be, this app component will be rendered on the server. Okay, so that's it. So far we have rendered the component on the client side. Now we have rendered it on the server. That's it. So now we have completed the React. Okay. Next we will be seeing the Redux. So that's it, my friends. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for supporting me. Please do subscribe. In the next class we will be seeing Redux. Thank you.